There is a moment when everything you believed about your life turns out to be a carefully constructed lie. Not a small lie, not a white lie, a 7-year lie, with a house, with children, with a woman who thought she was his wife, just like I did. My name is Sarah, and the day I found out the truth about my husband was the same day I realized I never really knew him at all. Let me take you back to 2015. I was 28 years old when I met Daniel at a mutual friend's birthday dinner. He was charming, well-dressed, and spoke with the kind of quiet confidence that made you feel like the most important person in the room. Within 6 months, we were inseparable. He was a regional sales manager, which meant frequent travel. 2, sometimes 3 trips a month. Chicago, Dallas, Atlanta. I never questioned it. His job was demanding. His salary reflected it. Our life together was comfortable, stable, beautiful. We got married in September 2016. Small ceremony, close family, perfect day. He cried when he saw me walk down the aisle. I thought those were tears of joy. Looking back now, I honestly don't know what they were. For 7 years, I built my entire existence around this man. We had a home together. We had plans together. We had a future together. Or so I believed. The truth was living 40 minutes away, in a house he had bought 2 years before he met me. 7 years is a long time to keep a secret, and looking back, the signs were always there. I just didn't know I was supposed to be looking. It started small. A phone always face down on the table. A shower taken the moment he walked through the door. Before even saying hello. Business trips that extended by a day, sometimes 2, with a quick text explanation and no further discussion. I noticed these things, but I filed them under. He's stressed. He's tired. He's busy. Because that's what you do when you trust someone completely. You find explanations that protect the story you believe in. The first real crack appeared in March 2022. I was doing laundry, his work shirts from his latest trip to Atlanta. I checked the pockets out of habit. In the left breast pocket of his blue dress shirt, a receipt, a restaurant receipt, from a place called Rosie's Kitchen in Atlanta. Dinner for 2, a bottle of wine, dessert, $127.40. I stood in the laundry room for a long time. He told me that trip was a solo client dinner. I put the receipt back in the pocket. I finished the laundry, and I said nothing. But something had shifted inside me. Something that would never fully shift back. After the receipt, I started paying attention differently. Not obsessively, not dramatically, just quietly. I began noting the dates of his trips, cross-referencing them with his company's public event calendar online. Most matched. But 3 trips in 8 months didn't. No conferences, no client events, nothing. I checked our joint credit card statements, something I'd never felt the need to do before. Atlanta, every 6 weeks, almost exactly. Hotel, restaurants, a grocery store called Fresh Mart. Who buys groceries on a business trip? My hands were shaking when I typed his name into Google. Nothing unusual came up. But then I tried something different. I searched his name alongside Atlanta, and on the 3rd page of results, a neighborhood Facebook group post from 2019, a welcome post. Welcome to the neighborhood, Daniel and Emily and the kids. Below it, a photo, my husband, standing in front of a house, his arm around a woman, 2 small children beside them, smiling. I closed my laptop. I opened it again. I stared at that photo for 40 minutes. Then I booked a flight to Atlanta. I told Daniel I was visiting my college friend in Boston. He didn't question it. Of course he didn't. I landed in Atlanta on a Thursday afternoon. I had the address from the Facebook post. I rented a car, drove to the neighborhood, and parked 2 houses down. I sat in that rental car for 3 hours. At 5:47 p.m., a black SUV pulled into the driveway. Daniel stepped out. He was wearing the gray jacket I had given him for his birthday. A woman came out of the front door. Mid-30s, dark hair, warm smile. 2 children ran past her, a boy and a girl. Daniel picked up the girl. She called him Daddy. I watched my husband, walk into another family's home, his other family's home, and closed the door. I drove back to the hotel. I sat on the bathroom floor. I don't know how long I was there. I just remember the cold tiles and the complete, absolute silence, and thinking, how do you grieve something that was never real? I flew home the next morning. Daniel was due back from his Atlanta business trip in 2 days. I used those 2 days carefully. I contacted a family law attorney. I made copies of every financial document in our home. I transferred half of our joint savings into a personal account, which my attorney confirmed I was fully entitled to do. And I called my sister. When Daniel walked through the front door on Saturday evening, rolling his suitcase, loosening his tie, calling my name like any other return home, I was sitting at the kitchen table with my laptop open, showing the Facebook photo. He stopped in the doorway, and in that single second, I watched 7 years of carefully maintained fiction collapse across his face. He didn't deny it. I hadn't expected him to. He sat down. He started with, "It's complicated." I stopped him. I told him I didn't need his explanation. I needed him out of my house. By morning. The divorce took 11 months. I won't walk you through every detail. Some of it is still too raw, even now. What I will tell you is this. The other woman, Emily, she called me, 3 weeks after I confronted Daniel. She had found out about me the same week I found out about her. We talked for 2 hours. She was devastated. So was I. We were both victims of the same man. We never became friends. That would have been too complicated, too painful. But that conversation gave me something I hadn't expected. It gave me proof that I wasn't crazy, that I hadn't missed obvious signs, that he had been extraordinarily careful and extraordinarily cruel. The divorce was finalized in February 2024. Daniel lost significantly in the settlement. He now lives in a 1-bedroom apartment. I heard Emily took the Atlanta house and full custody. I don't know if that's true. I don't need it to be. I just needed to be free. People ask me, how did you not know? And I understand why they ask. But here's what I've learned. Deception at this level is not accidental. It is not impulsive. It is calculated, maintained, and executed by someone who made a deliberate choice every single day to look you in the eyes and lie. That is not a reflection of your intelligence. That is a reflection of their character. I spent a long time asking what I had missed, what I should have seen, what I could have done differently. And then, one day, I stopped, because the only person responsible for 7 years of lies is the person who told them. I am 37 years old. I have a small apartment that is entirely mine, a job I love, a sister who answered every call, and the absolute certainty that I will never again mistake someone's confidence for trustworthiness. That certainty, as painful as it was to earn, is worth more than 7 years of comfortable lies. If this story reached something in you, leave it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you're carrying something you've never told anyone, you're in the right place. I'll see you in the next one.